Hello, this is Dr. Hale Pringle. I was working on creating some documentation for moving a full funnel from one Aweber account to another for a team, and decided to go ahead and make this into a 4-part series that I would put up on one of my YouTube channels so that other people might benefit, and maybe even I'll get a lead or two. Um, so this is going to be a 4-part series on how to move a full funnel that was built using the Aweber landing pages and how to move those from one account to another. So the first video is going to be on the things that we need to have ready before we have other people copy our funnel, because there's several steps involved there. The second video is going to be on creating an Aweber account, creating a list, and editing a list. And I will say that I don't do much on the creating the Aweber account, but I do have an affiliate link that it would be nice if people used. And I'll talk about that and put a link down below this video. The third video is going to be on importing and tweaking a landing page, and maybe the thank you page. There are a number of ways that funnels can be built, and I'm going to try and be somewhat generic, knowing full well there's no way that I'm going to be able to cover everything. And these are very basic funnels that I'm talking about here, very simple, simplistic even. And it is for network marketers mostly, but others can benefit for the same type of thing. So the fourth video is going to be importing an email campaign, and then a little bit on testing the system, because the job's not done until you've actually run tests on the system. That's an absolute given in the computer world. So let's take a look at what needs to be done before we get started. So someone, in this case it was me, but somebody needs to know how to create a landing page and craft headlines and bullet points and the whole thing about landing page. And there will be a form, that's Aweber's name for the little section where it says enter your name, your email, and there's a submit button. And name is optional. We found a lot of people were not using the name the way we used to, because there is actually a measurable decrease in the number of people who sign up when you ask for name and address versus just address. Don't know why that is, but it actually is. They've run studies on it several times. So the form is a critical part of this, because part of the form contains instructions on where to send the brand new subscriber after they've pressed the submit button. There's going to be a tag, and that's also done when a lead who's been looking at your landing page enters their name, their email, and presses submit. They become a subscriber. They're put into the Aweber list that you've designated along with a tag, and we use that tag to activate an email campaign. Now, there was a legacy system where everybody, as soon as they joined a list, it triggered an email system. And I resisted the campaigns for a year or two. Big mistake. Much, much more powerful. I'll give you one example and then move on. You might have a landing page that just a generic that you give to people, you do Facebook posts. Then maybe you create one for a special that the wherever you're working with, they're going to have a special deal for 30 days. So you create a landing page for that. And you also create a series of emails that are just for that. Well, those people can go in the same lists. They're interested in the same thing. What the list was designed to capture the subscribers who were interested in a particular, call it maybe a network marketing company or a product. But we could have two different campaigns that are dropping people into exactly the same list. And which one do we trigger? Well, it depends on their tag. Under the old system, you'd actually have to have three lists. One for the original, and as soon as they signed up, they got that series. And oh, by the way, they also got copied into your main list. Then you create another list for the special deal. And oh, by the way, as soon as they join that one, they are also added to the master list. So the master list is the one you ended up with lots of people in, but you had two sub lists, other lists. With the campaigns, I can do that with just one list, and I can put the people in using two different campaigns, and then that can be 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there's actually code inside of the Aweber subscriber list where I can tell where they came from if later I want to send a broadcast to just people who were part of the special deal. It's fairly easy to set a filter that says everybody who has tagged such and such or who got this URL is where they came from, and it will eliminate everybody else. Enough on that. So we've got the form, we've got the tag. We need to know where to send them when they fill out the form. That might be a thank you page. It might be nowhere if they just subscribe. In which case, Aweber creates an ugly little form that says, hey, you successfully subscribed. Thank you page is another main option, or maybe it's an affiliate link, a replicated site, and you're going to send them using your affiliate link to this replicated site in order to purchase or join or whatever the site happens to be doing. So those are three different options that might happen. So you're depending on how you set up your landing page. Now that I have thank you page on the screen, I will note that one of the things I often do is I have in the landing page kind of a second offer or more detail or a special. So they've filled out the form, they've entered their name, they go to this page, it says, thank you, your thing is coming in an email, and by the way, here's this other thing you might be interested in. Then I copy that thank you page into what do we call a download page. And in the email, I send them to the download page to actually do the download. And that page looks exactly the same as the thank you page, except the words that were thank you for joining our list, and your the link to the lead magnet is coming in an email. Now the words say, thank you for your interest in our lead magnet. Here is the link. Click here to download. And there's the same offer again. So they've seen it twice rather than once. And then you're also going to be putting it in your email campaign. But it's an easy way to get two touches for the price of one using a thank you page and a download page rather than just having the link in the email that is the download. All right. The email campaign needs to be ready. It needs to be triggered with a tag, and it's the same tag you've put into the landing page already. So it'll be there when the people duplicate this landing page. Then you need a document, something that you're going to hand to the people who are going to copy I'm presuming in this case you might have several people in a network marketing. This might be your group, your downline. So it's going to talk about things like what list to use, what tweaks need to be done to that list, uh, what pages need to be downloaded, and what tweaks need to be done to those pages, and what email campaign needs to be imported, and is there anything special you need to do in that case other than activate the campaign, and then what to do to test. And I've actually got here the bones of such a document where it is, what's the name of the project, what's the date, what version are we on. Always helps to have versions so that when you're talking to somebody, you can realize, oh, you're using version 2, we're up to version 5, we've made some tweaks in the system. We need to get you the most current documentation of what to be doing. But then it goes on, who's the contact person, and talks about which lists to use, and are there any tweaks, like there might be global snippets that you want them to put in, which is a piece of code that you can fix in one place, the list description, and in every email it will say, oh, what is this value? Maybe it's an affiliate link. Let's go get it out of the list settings, which means you don't have to edit every email if you make a change. And we move on to the document. What documents, what pages do you download? And I talk about 2 different pages here as if there were a thank you page. In some cases, they weren't. I will note that if you have a thank you page, it usually helps to do any downloading and editing and tweaking of the download page, of the thank you page first, because the landing page is going to need the URL for that thank you page, so it knows where to send people when they become subscribers. So if you do the thank you page first, you have that URL when you start to work on the landing page, and there's this place where you enter the URL that the new subscriber is supposed to be sent to as soon as they have pressed the submit button successfully with an email address, and in some cases the name. So we're talking here about the URL for the page to download, the form, what goes in the form, what you probably ought to name this page, because the name is one of the things that Aweber leaves blank. And by name I mean there's a pretty name. Aweber will host these pages, and by default they give it a name that's like a 40-character number, a string of numbers, and you can change that and make it something like I quite often will use my own name because I'm trying to brand Hale Pringle. And the more people see Hale Pringle, and they'll see it, the lead will see it if they look in the URL when they come to this page. Whatever it is, it's worth getting rid of the long string of garbage numbers. Put something in the page name. So we also want to look at the tag that's already there, just to remind people where to go find it if they get lost later and something's not working and they're trying to figure out, am I trying to activate this campaign with the right tag? Well, what tag should I be using? And not that hard to open the page in the editor, the landing page in the editor, and go look at it. So after the save and exit, then there's a chance to republish the form, and there's going to be a URL. That's something you need to copy down and keep someplace. I like to do it in Evernote, but it can be paper and pencil, whatever it is, because that's the URL that you're going to be sending people to. The whole purpose of the landing page is to put it in front of people, which means you need to have the URL to put it in front of people. So the same type of information for that second, which might be the thank you page. And then it goes on to the downloading the email campaign and what the long code, because Aweber will create a long code on every campaign. If you turn sharing on, and someone can say import and enter that code, and that campaign will get moved into their list. But you need to be able to give that code to whoever's trying to duplicate the campaign. And obviously I've got a spelling error there, which I will fix. So activating the campaign is one of the critical parts. It's very easy to have a campaign. You've been looking at all the emails, you've got all the stuff, and not realize when you go out to the list of campaigns, it's still in draft mode because it's never been activated. And then there's a little bit on telling the people to test the system, which means fire it up, put your own name in, press every button that's there, go to the thank you page, press every button that's there, look at the emails that come out, and click every link that's there, make sure everything's working, because it's amazing how many times something slipped through the crack and something's broken. So that's the overview, and the next video starts with opening an Aweber account. And I mentioned there is my affiliate link is halepringle.com/Aweber. That's not actually the affiliate link, but it will take you to the affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything if you're creating a brand new Aweber account. And Aweber is free up to 500 users. You can only have one list, and there's some of the segmentation that they won't let you do. Most people don't get into segmentation for a while after they start doing emails. So the single list is more likely to hurt you than anything else. However, as I was talking a minute ago, using the campaigns, we can actually do a whole lot with that single list in terms of driving people to that list from multiple sites, from multiple ways. They can be landing pages. You can send people directly to the list. Number of ways that they could get on that list. And Atom is an app that goes on your smartphone where you can enter names and emails, and it will drop into the list. So you can do quite a bit with a single list before you need to start paying for it. And I'm a firm believer in see if it works for you. Is it doing the job that you want it to do? Are you actually using it before you get into paying, monthly fees of, I don't remember what it is anymore, like $20 in the beginning. So you guys have a great day. Oh, Hale, yes.